Hello, everybody. I wanted to make a video today about a topic that I am in the minority on, and that would be Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings. I think Kirk Cousins gets a lot of disrespect. I think Kirk Cousins is a better quarterback than pretty much anyone gives him credit for. It's very common to see people be very dismissive of Kirk Cousins, write him off as a guy who can't win, doesn't show up in big games, lacks the leadership or some other intangible that guys like Brady or Mahomes or Rodgers have that can lead a team to victory. And I see a lot of people not rank Kirk Cousins as a top 10 quarterback in the league when he is, in fact, a top 10 quarterback in the league. I think his stats prove it. And on top of that, I think that the lack of success that Kirk Cousins has seen in his career can be easily explained by other missing parts in his team or the coaching staff. And so it really irritates me to see, pretty much everyone. I mean, you go on any social media site, you go on, even like Hot Take or like Good Morning Football or whatever. People don't think Kirk Cousins is a good quarterback when Kirk Cousins is so good. It's crazy to me. It's truly crazy to me. So I wanted to go over Kirk Cousins, and I wanted to, do a schedule prediction for the Minnesota Vikings because I think they will be a great team this year. I think they will be a definite playoff team, and I think they might win the NFC North. First, I want to take a little look at Kirk Cousins' stats here and compare it to some other guys. So actually, maybe I should look at this first. Here is the Stay Hot Podcast quarterback rankings, and this is the consensus rankings, which means everyone who takes this quiz on this website, this is the average of these rankings. So you can see here, Kirk Cousins is rated at 14, above Matt Ryan, below Derek Carr. While I feel like he's probably one above Derek Carr, I struggle to see how some people are ahead of Kirk Cousins. So what I wanted to do here is Aaron Rodgers is ranked number 2. Aaron Rodgers, let's just say after last season, is the number 2 rated quarterback on average compared to most fans. And Kirk Cousins is the 14th. And in my opinion, there is not much difference between Aaron Rodgers and Kirk Cousins. If Aaron Rodgers and Kirk Cousins switch teams today, I think Kirk Cousins would be in the same position that Aaron Rodgers is on Green Bay. And I think Aaron Rodgers would be maybe marginally better, would make the Vikings marginally better than what Kirk Cousins has them. Because obviously Aaron Rodgers is an all-time great, has the longevity, has the numbers to back it up. But I'm saying, let's just base it off of last season. I think Aaron Rodgers would only make the Vikings marginally better. Maybe a wild card team. But for example here, Minnesota last year, they went 8-8. Kirk Cousins had a 66.3 completion percentage for 4,200 yards, 33 touchdowns, 7 interceptions with 103 quarterback rating. Aaron Rodgers last year went 13-3 with less yards, 4 more touchdowns, and 3 less ints, with a higher rating, but still both ratings are great. He has more touchdowns barely and less interceptions barely. So I mean, I'm not making the comparison that I'm not trying to say that Kirk Cousins is better than Aaron Rodgers. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers is better than Kirk Cousins, but I don't think the difference is 12 spots. You know what I mean? I just don't. And you can say, oh well, Aaron Rodgers is a leader. And Aaron Rodgers can rally a group and get his guys to win a game. And Aaron Rodgers goes 13-3, and Kirk Cousins goes 8-8. I mean, the Green Bay defense is great. The Minnesota defense is horrible. I think that says a lot. LaFleur is 10 times a coach as Zimmer was. Zimmer, I mean, it seems like Zimmer did not have any faith at all in Kirk Cousins. And I just, the difference here to me is not much. Aaron Rodgers is a better quarterback, yes. But Aaron Rodgers isn't 2. Well, Aaron Rodgers is 2, but Kirk Cousins isn't 14 comparatively. And then I see guys like Deshaun Watson at 10. Deshaun Watson hasn't played a fucking football game in 2 years. I mean, it's crazy to me. People just get him up here. And Russell Wilson, I mean, I'm sorry, but I don't think Russell is going to be... I don't think Russell is going to have the year that anyone thinks he's going to have, okay? I don't have any confidence in Russell Wilson coming off his injury last year. On top of, just a poor season, take away his injury. Before his injury, he wasn't having a good year. Like, I don't understand what people see in these two guys to make them better than Kirk. Deshaun Watson hasn't played a game in 2 years. And, you can say he threw for 4,800 yards. They still went 4-12. Okay? I mean, Kirk Cousins has thrown for 4,900 yards, whereas he threw for 4,900 yards and went 8-7. Okay? And people are still shitting on him. But, Deshaun Watson throws for 4,800 and goes 4-12. Hasn't played in 2 years, and people think he's going to be an MVP candidate. I don't understand it. I do not understand what people are seeing. What people just refuse to... I don't understand it. To me, it seems like total bias. Like, I really do not get the reason. Like, I am struggling to see here. I mean, the difference between Kirk Cousins and Aaron Rodgers is marginal. Marginal. I mean, come on. And people just shit on him. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. I mean, Matthew Stafford, at least he threw for 40 touchdowns. I can see Matthew Stafford being better than Kirk Cousins, sure. I mean, I think Joe Burrow is overrated. I don't think Joe Burrow is 6, but... I mean, come on. I mean, Justin Herbert, sure, yes, Brady, yes, Allen, yes, Aaron Rodgers, yes, Mahomes, but I mean, I think we knock Burrow down. Lamar, okay, I am high on Lamar, but I think Kirk Cousins is right here at 7 or 8. I do. I mean, 14 is just blatant disrespect, and I don't understand it. And I want to preface this and say that I'm a Commanders fan. So yes, Kirk Cousins did play for the Redskins, and I liked Kirk Cousins and I supported Kirk Cousins, but in no way am I letting that influence my decision making here. I mean, I'm fed up with the narrative that it's Kirk Cousins' fault that his teams aren't good, or that Kirk Cousins is overpaid. The difference between Kirk Cousins and Aaron Rodgers, I'll say it again, is not that big. At least within the past handful of years. I know Kirk Cousins isn't a Hall of Famer, but for God's sakes, man, show me the numbers. I'm looking at the numbers. Kirk Cousins is disrespected, and I don't like the Vikings. I live in Michigan, and I go to every Detroit game, and I root for Detroit. Every week they don't play the Redskins, admittedly. But you know what I mean? I don't give a shit if the Vikings do well or do bad. I don't care if Kirk Cousins has a great year or a bad year. But it irritates me when people come on to YouTube or TikTok or TV and shit on this man when he hasn't done anything but put up great numbers. I'm not saying he's a Hall of Famer, but I'm saying he's somewhat of a he's a great quarterback, okay? He was a great quarterback last year. He was a great quarterback years ago. And I think he's going to have a great season this year, and I hope to God, just because of all the disrespect that he's gotten, that the Vikings have a great year, and I hope that they can achieve some playoff success. So I want to quickly do a schedule review, because I think the Vikings have a good schedule. I think that they have a favorable schedule. I think that they will win probably what I don't know for sure. Don't quote me. I think they win 12 games. I haven't gone through it yet. I mean, I've thought about these games, but I think they win 12 games. I think that they win the North. I mean, them and Green Bay are neck and neck, and if Green Bay wins it, then Vikings are a definite wild card team. So I just want to quickly go through here. Green Bay against the Vikings in Minnesota, the first game of the year. I think Green Bay got a little bit worse. I think Green Bay is still going to be a playoff team. I think Aaron Rodgers is great. I'm going to give it to the Vikings at home in the first week. They're home. They have a great offense. They didn't get any worse on offense. They didn't get any worse on defense. They couldn't have gotten much worse. I think the Vikings win the first week. Second week, I think the Eagles are a tough matchup in Philly, but ultimately, I think the Vikings have too much offensive firepower to really let the Eagles beat them. I mean, the Vikings are going to get beat this year because their defense is not good enough. And I don't think the Philly offense is good enough to beat the Minnesota offense. So I will take Minnesota on the road in primetime. Lions visit Minnesota. I don't really think I need to explain it much. I think the Lions got much better. As I said, I live in Michigan. I'm a Redskins fan, but I live in Michigan, so I go to all the Lions games, and I've grown an affinity for the Lions because I go to every single one of their games, and I'll root for them every game that they don't play the Redskins, like I said. But I think the Lions got a lot better this year, but I don't think that they're good enough to beat Minnesota in Minnesota. I think they'll probably split. Against the Saints, I think this is a very tricky matchup. Saints have a great defense. I really like Jameis Winston, assuming he recovers nicely from his injury. I think Michael Thomas has had a great training camp. It's in New Orleans. They have great fans, great atmosphere. I think that this game could go either way. I think the Vikings could win this game. It would not surprise me at all. But just to err on the side of caution, I'm going to go with the Saints. I think it's a very 50-50 game. I mean, there's no Kamara, right? Kamara will be suspended. But I think it's a very 50-50 game. I think both teams are good. I think the Vikings are probably better, but, New Orleans at home. I'll give it to New Orleans. The Vikings are going to eviscerate the Bears. I don't really need to explain that. In Miami, I think Miami did get better too. I don't think Miami's a playoff team. I think they'll fight for a wild card. I don't think they'll get one. I think the Vikings are better, and I don't think anyone's really arguing that. Give me the Vikings on the road. They have a bye on week 7, which is nice because they're going into a tough matchup against a good Cardinals team, who I think will make the playoffs. I think they will get second in the NFC West. But Minnesota's home. They're coming off a bye. I will take Minnesota. Not much else to say there. I think the Cardinals are good. I think that they will fall short of any playoff success. But I think that they're still a great team. Give me Minnesota off the bye. My Washington Commanders get to play the Vikings at home. I think Washington got better, and I think Washington is being a little bit dismissed by the media this year. However, I realized that Washington's defense was a complete and utter disappointment last year. I think Washington could fight for a playoff spot, especially in a weak division where I think Dallas will end up disappointing as well. I think Washington's good. I think this might be a close-ish game, but the Vikings are just too good on offense, in my opinion, for the Redskins to be able to do anything. The Vikings against the Bills in Buffalo. Obviously, I'm going to go with Buffalo here. In Buffalo, great atmosphere, amazing offense, great defense. Not much to say. The Bills are going to win that game. Dallas at Minnesota. I think Dallas is a good team. I think that they will fall short again of really any playoff success. I think that they probably win the NFC East. But at the same time, I think that they don't really achieve anything other than a NFC East championship. So I will take the Vikings here. I think that the Vikings offense is better than the Cowboys offense. The Cowboys defense got worse this offseason. I'll take the Vikings at home. Maybe a close game here, but to me, it's just I don't think that I'm not really second guessing that Dallas Cowboys beating the Vikings. It could happen, but I doubt it. The Patriots at Minnesota. I will take Minnesota here. Patriots, Bill Belichick knows more than I do, but the Patriots suck. They're not making playoffs like they did last year. Yeah, I'd be surprised if, they get 8 wins. I would be surprised if they won 8 games. Minnesota. Against the Jets, Minnesota. I don't think, I love Robert Saleh, and I hope the Jets get better just for the sake of the Jets. But I don't think the Jets will beat the Vikings at all. Next, I think that the Lions can sneak one out at home, especially after a 3-game win streak here by the Vikings. I think the Lions are getting better, like I said, and I think they're good enough to split with the Vikings. This next week is a tough matchup. The Colts coming off of a bye. Although they're in Minneapolis, I would take the Colts here. Had a tough slew of games here. The Bills to the Lions. They're 1-3. I like the Colts. I think the Colts have great defense. I think that they won't maybe be as good offensively as people think, but either way, I think they're still going to win their division. And I think they're going to be a very tough team to beat. I think they beat Minnesota here on the road. Vikings beating the Giants. Don't really need to explain that. I will take Green Bay at home, obviously, and I will have the Vikings wrap up with a win in Chicago for a total of a 12-5 record. So, 12 wins, 8-1 at home, 4-4 away. I haven't done my Green Bay prediction, but I would think that it would be hard for Green Bay to have a better season than Minnesota. Ultimately, I think Kirk Cousins is a great quarterback. I think the Vikings will be a great team. I think they'll be even better now that they got rid of Zimmer. And I really think that they could go on a sneaky playoff run in a weaker NFC, at least compared to the AFC. I think the Vikings will have one of the best offenses in the league. I think Kirk Cousins is, like I said, a top 7 quarterback in the league. And I hope that people will start to respect him. And I think that this is Kirk Cousins' season. If Kirk Cousins has a bad season, you guys can all laugh at me and tell me I told you so. But at the end of the day, if the Minnesota Vikings go 8-8 and miss the playoffs, or whatever, 8-9 and miss the playoffs, Kirk Cousins is done, in my opinion. This is a make or break season. His numbers back up his in my eyes, his numbers give him an excuse. But that can only go on for so long. But I don't think it'll happen. I think that the Vikings will have a great year. I think they'll make the playoffs. I think that they'll win a playoff game. And I hope that people will start to realize that Kirk Cousins is a great quarterback. If you guys totally disagree with me, I love football. I love talking about football. I love debating football. I'd love to talk to you guys in the comments. This is... I have other thoughts if you guys want to hear it. If you guys want me to do another schedule review, just let me know. I have other hot takes. I guess this would be a hot take. I have other hot takes I could share. If you guys have a comment, want a suggestion, or completely disagree with me, let's talk about it in the comments.